Yo, what's up guys? You got PokeaimMD here with my week 3 team preparation video or breakdown or review, whatever you guys want to call it, for week 3 of the UCL Little Cup Off-Season. I, of course, am coach of the Bronx Beartics, PokeaimMD, if you haven't heard of me. Oh, bars. Ooh. Anyway, we're taking on TheKingnappy and the Tucson Terrakions. Of course, this is the Little Cup Off-Season, so it's not really revenge for what happened during the regular UCL season, but hopefully this is a bit of a grudge match for me. I definitely want to win this match, just because I did lose to Nappy in the regular season. But of course, the UCL is all about having fun, and I have fun winning. But I also enjoy actually playing the games. But in any case, Nappy has a really interesting team. None of his Mons actually carry Stealth Rock. Of course, all the Pokemon were randomized besides your captain. His captain of his team is Dino. Mine, of course, is John Cena, my Zorua. But none of his Mons have Stealth Rock, so that's something that I took into account. I built this team with my boy Mambo, so shout outs to him. The only hazards he does have, he actually has a lot of them besides Stealth Rock: Toxic Spikes and Spikes, as well as Sticky Web. Sticky Web is something that I do want to take into account. But in any case, let's actually go right into the team. So the first member, who the hell is knocking on the side? What the hell is going on? Anyway, sorry, ignore that if you guys hear that. But in any case, the first Pokemon that we wanted to bring was, of course, the Village Crusher Junior Teddy Ursa. Now, this thing is just such a powerhouse in Little Cup. I have to bring it. It's so good. There's literally no reason not to bring it. Facade smacks Dino, Bellsprout. It's a 2-hit KO on Porygon, destroys Spinarak and Venipede. Obviously, Shellos is 2-hit KO'd, as well as Gulpin. Trico is blown back, and same thing with Mime Jr. Now, Crunch is the basically the coverage move of choice that we have. Crunch only hits Honedge, but that's because all we need is Facade to hit everything else. Facade literally hits everything else. Facade plus Crunch hits his entire team for either an OHKO or a 2-hit KO. Crunch is sometimes a 2-hit KO on Honedge, sometimes it's not. Honedge is really, really bulky, like Deblade. Well, not like Deblade, but Deblade is bulky. And Aegis Slash is a pretty nasty mon itself, so you kind of expect Honedge to be bulky with an Vanillite, especially with his Steel and Ghost typing. But we have Protect, that way I can get my Quick Feet activated as quickly as possible, no pun intended. Unless I wanted to run like Honey Gather or something, honestly, Quick Feet is the go-to ability. No matter what set I run, it's always going to be the best ability. See if I run Honey Gather just for fun one time. But last move is Swords Dance. Swords Dance, if I do manage to get up a Swords Dance, I can just plow through his entire team. Again, I do need a bit of prior damage, but the good thing about Teddy Ursa is it weakens his team for my Jam, my Shellder. It does weaken Honedge, as well as Porygon and Shellos, all three of which can take hits from my John Cena. So, my Zorua as well. Well, not my John Cena, but my Jam. I'm sorry, they're both right there, so I kind of mixed up. They both have J. But basically, just to break, Teddy Ursa is going to do, Village Crusher is going to do what I expect it to do, as it always does. That was so vague. I don't know if I could have made that any more vague. But I expect it to just crush or run through his team and just break for other members. Now, Lil Jackie is the next member of the team, bringing it back again. Once again, winning the Wi-Fi battle. Shout out to TheKingnappy for bringing it back this week one more time. It honestly walls the majority of his team. Bellsprout, walled. Spinarak, walled. Venipede, walled. Honedge, walled. Gulpin, walled. Trico, walled. Mime Jr. tanked and then knocked out. But Little Jackie puts in a lot of work versus his team, so there's no way we're not bringing it this week. I can Will-O-Wisp versus Honedge versus Shellos. That way my Wild Charge is a 2-hit KO after burn damage and a bit of prior damage. Shellos is actually really, really bulky. The good thing is his Honedge, though it is a bit of a threat, it has no guard, so I'm never going to miss Will-O-Wisp versus that thing. I opted for Wild Charge and Flare Blitz over Flamethrower and HP Grass, excuse me. HP Grass would only hit Shellos just because the pure power, stupid chair, shut up. The pure power of Wild Charge and Flare Blitz is amazing versus him, especially couple that with Will-O-Wisp doing damage turn per turn. If I do manage to burn his Shellos and it wants to switch in another time, Wild Charge will be able to 2-hit KO it. So coupled with the burn, of course. So it's definitely just the right move, I think. While HP Grass is just severely weaker. Though Flamethrower is not too bad versus him, just because it doesn't force me to lose recoil when I Flare Blitz something like Spinnerack or something like Honedge. And it also hits Honedge for more, I believe. Well, that's debatable, I think. But, so that could be something I could potentially change it to, but I'm pretty sure I'm just going to be going with Wild Charge and Flare Blitz. Now, right here we do have Patrick, my Staryu, bringing it back again. This time we're using a Life Orb offensive set with Hydro Pump, Ice Beam, and Thunderbolt. Thunderbolt 2 KOs. Shell Loss easily does about 70%. Ice Beam destroys Pokemon like Dino. He loves to run Scarf Dino. I don't know if he bring that again, but he loves Scarf Dino, which is why I'm kind of prepped for it. We have Hydro Pump that just annihilates the rest of his team, and we of course do want to bring Rapid Spin just because he does have Sticky Web. Not saying I will be able to spin, however I don't necessarily need to spin. Basically his spin blocker is Honedge, so if I can bring in Staryu and he tries to switch onto Honedge on a predicted Rapid Spin and I go for Hydro Pump, that would do a hell of a lot to that Honedge right there, and basically we'll be putting it in range where Jam can just Shell Smash up and just body his team, because Honedge is one of the main stoppers besides Shell Loss and Porygon, which the team focuses around weakening those to set up for the Jam sweep. But unfortunately Analytic is not legal with Hydro Pump, I believe. It's something like that. There's something that goes on. I know Analytic isn't legal with something else, so I'm running Natural Cure over Analytic. Natural Cure isn't that bad just because it's probably going to be switching in to his Shell Losses, Toxic / Scalds anyway, so there's that chance to burn regardless. So next up we have Jam, my Shell Smashing Shellder. Once again, we're bringing it. This time we're not running Razor Shell or Explosion or anything like that. We do have Ice Shard because we want that check to his Dino. Scarf Dino could be an issue, so we want to have that priority Ice Shard right there. Adamant does make me Speed Tie with Spinnerack, so that's something that could be bad. If I made it Jolly, I actually would be able to outspeed and can just maybe beat it turn 1. Who knows? But I wanted the extra power. +2. Basically, Icicle Spear and Rock Blast will be destroying his team. If I weaken Porygon and even Shell Loss a bit, I'll be able to do a bit of damage. Shell Loss is actually pure water type, I'm pretty positive, so Rock Blast does a lot, or a nice amount of damage, especially when I'm at +2. We obviously have that Vanillite for that bulk. This thing can actually take a hit from Pokemon like Gulpin and even a Tri-Attack from Porygon. It could take one prior to Shell Smashing. And basically, it can even take a hit from Dino, even with that Hustle boosted, just because this thing is so bulky. So, bringing Jam this week. The next member on the team is John Cena, my Zorua. Now, basically, the way I'm going with John Cena this game is that I'm going to set it up. I'm going to basically put it as Shellder. I'm going to disguise Zorua as Shellder. Why? Because Shellder lures in Pokemon like Porygon, Shell Loss, and more so Honedge. And basically, if I lure those in and I go for knockoff, get rid of those things of Vanillite, do a hell of a lot of damage to Honedge, and the rest of them basically getting rid of their Vanillite, Zorua just put in a lot of work. We're actually Choice Scarf this week with Sucker Punch, Knockoff, U-Turn, and Memento. Yes, we do have Sucker Punch on a Choice Scarf set. It helps us check Pokemon like Trico if they get out of hand, and also gets that priority move on Bellsprout Dino, though I don't expect them to bring Bellsprout versus me. But just getting that priority move. All I need is knockoff and U-turn anyway, and the Memento is just to support a potential Jambat setting up with a Shell Smash and sweeping him. Or even just to get Little Jackie in with that Intimidate. Like I said, Little Jackie Wall is the majority of his team. Spinnerack, Venipede, Honedge, Walled, Gulpin, Walled, Trico, Walled. Even Rockslide is not going to be doing too much if he wants to run the Swords Dance set after Intimidate, especially with my Vanillite and the bulk that I have. But basically, John Cena is really cool because it can disguise itself as Jam, and that will help bait in Pokemon, like I said, such as the Porygon, the Shell Loss, and more so the Honedge, just to hit that thing with a knockoff and do damage. And then U-turn, we actually outspeed Choice Scarf Dino. I believe Choice Scarf Dino hit 16 speed, we hit 17 speed, so we outspeeded by 1 point. And what we can do is hit it with a super effective U-turn, doing a lot of damage. And like I said, Memento is just to give us that extra edge of setting up. Next member on the team is Slurp, my Vanillite. We're running the same set, well, sort of the same set that we were running versus Mo. In week 1, we're running Ice Shard, Frost Breath, Magic Coat, Taunt. I believe we had Explosion over Ice Shard versus Mo. But basically, it's an anti-lead set for his Sticky Webs if he wants to lead off with Spinnerack, which is something that he has done many times. And it's just a great lead, especially because he likes to run Focus Sash and he can get up his Sticky Web pretty easily. Basically, anti-lead Vanillite. If I Magic Coat, I bounce back to Sticky Web. I can then taunt it because I am faster by 2 points. I am faster than that Mon. by 2 points, Spinarak, and basically I can taunt it, and then I can go for Frost Breath. Frost Breath always crits, and then pick it off an Ice Shard. I'm pretty sure he'd be running Focus Sash, but we also have Ice Shard on Vanillite over Explosion just because it also gives us that secondary check to Dino with priority Ice Shard. We want to have that priority versus it because Dino could be a threat. I'm not saying I'll get up Sticky Web, but I'm more than likely to lead off with my Vanillite no matter what Nappy wants to bring, and I'm pretty positive he will be bringing Spinarak versus me, but basically the game plan is to prevent him from getting up Sticky Web and then break through him with either Growlithe just walling everything and burning everything with Will-O-Wisp, or even Patrick just having no switch-ins on his team at all. And then, like I said, disguising Jam as John Cena will more than likely be how I will go about this battle. Like I said, because Jam just forces in so many switches. He can't stay in with certain Pokemon that are weak to that. He can't let me sit up. So I do expect him to bring out like Honedge and stuff like that. But we could definitely see some interesting stuff by him. Like I actually tested with Mambo. Mambo built a test team, and he brought like Rock Slide Honedge and like Fake Out Mime Jr. and things like that. So that's something I will take into account when I am playing the game. But the great thing is I do have a spinner. Not saying I will be able to rapid spin away, but I can prevent some stuff, maybe we'll see. And even if I do get up Sticky Web on his side, and he somehow manages up to get Sticky Web versus me, both Sticky Webs on the side of the field means that both speeds are what they would be originally. So in any case, that's gonna be the team. I prefer Weak Armor over everything on this Pokemon just because Ice Body doesn't do anything. At least Weak Armor gives me that chance to have that +1 speed if he hits me with a physical attack. But yeah, that's gonna be the team. I hope you guys, are rooting for the Bronx Beartics, and yeah, feel free to leave a like, of course, if you want, subscribe if you want, and of course, stay tuned for the battle, which should be going up tomorrow, which will be Saturday. The game, I'm pretty sure we're gonna pick 10 o'clock. I'm pretty positive we're gonna pick 10 o'clock. Nappy loves the 10 o'clock time slot, so I'm pretty sure that'll be up at 10 o'clock in the morning, AM Eastern. Oof, nice and early. But yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. So later, cue the outro.